This one's for HOSA. HOSA got me like, oh man, I love HOSA. What's up, HOSA? He's like,
Hello, I am Kid President.
I was just trying to do an accent, it didn't work, sorry. Okay, hello, my name is Kid President. Well, that one didn't work either. Hello, it's me, Kid President. My goodness, why am I keep doing that, bro?
What's up, Kid President?
No. I will eat you. Hello, it's me, Kid President. I'm on a mission to make the world more awesome. I'm doing this with my brother Brad, the guy behind the camera. Watch me, HOSA. Watch me, Nashville. So watch me, HOSA, HOSA. Watch me, Nashville. Look at this audience. Look at this audience. This isn't just some little old room. This is the room of awesomeness. You're HOSA, come on. I love HOSA. We got awesome people from all over in this room tonight, and it feels good. From my neighborhood to yours, thank you for everything that you do. Tonight, you get to hear from my brother Brad. He is awesome, the guy behind the camera. And he's probably gonna cry on stage, let's be real about that, but.
No, don't say that.
But please be nice to him, he's very sensitive, so. I'm talking HOSA. What's up, Nashville? Thanks for giving me a reason to dance. I wish I could be with you tonight, but I got a little chaos situation. But that doesn't stop me from dancing. Nothing stops you either. You're HOSA. So I hear you give a big welcome to my brother, Brad.
Hello. Whoa. There's so many of you. Hello, HOSA. Hi. Oh. If the world were a Twinkie, this would be the cream filling. This room here. This is a room full of world changers. And I am Brad. My name is Brad, and I am not the Surgeon General. I'm not a healthcare professional. I might be a future healthcare, I don't know. I can't even eat with a fork. And yet here I am in front of you, some of the most incredible human beings on the face of the earth. In fact, if Earth were in trouble, this is the room I would want to be in. Like, you are the people who, like, seriously, my mom, though, is a registered nurse. She went back to school, yeah. Mom! When I was a little kid, she went back to school. And it was, I don't understand, I have 2 children, and I don't understand, like, how to do anything. And she went back to school, and this woman, you know why she did that at such a difficult time? Because she wanted to have a job where she showed up every day and loved people. That's it. And so tonight I want to share with you a story, and it's our story, and it's a really awesome story. It is, once upon a time, there was a group of incredible human beings, that's you, and standing in front of them was a man they'd never heard of. A pale, weird man who showed up for one purpose, and it was to tell them that they are going to make a difference. Now, I make silly videos on the internet. It's about kids and grown-ups working together to make the world a better place. And it started out as just a little family project, but it's turned into something so much bigger, and I've learned a whole lot in the process. And I'm not exactly a professional, I'm an amateur, but I'm learning how to be a world changer. And I'm learning from this guy. And this is the story of how we got where we're going. Audio. All right, here we go. Yeah. Thank you, yeah. Total professional, right?
Kid President is the quintessential ambassador of joy. He is that beacon of light on the internet that calls everyone from far and wide to come along for the ride.
I think we all need a pep talk.
First video we put online had no agenda other than to make it happy. It was just this kid saying, I've got something to say, be nice, I'm out, and then he dances. I call it like a hand grenade of happiness.
What's happening on the internet is people are finally voicing that they want positivity, they want happiness, they want to feel optimistic about the future, and they want to connect with other hearts and minds.
So we made this video, and I basically wrote it for myself. It was just, everything can be awesome. Like, don't stop believing unless your dream is stupid. So it was funny, but at the same time, it had this spirit of keep going. Things can be better.
We can use the internet as this platform for meaningful conversations and uplift and create connections between human beings.
And that's what Soul Pancake's done.
All human beings crave these conversations. Regardless of gender, regardless of what your background is, as a human being, you want to talk about that.
We felt this responsibility, like, let's make these, but let's make them matter, and let's actually talk about things that every person needs to hear. Not just every kid, but the kid inside of every person. Everybody needs to hear this.
And this is something Kid President says all the time, but if everybody treated the people around them like their neighbors, then we would all be taking care of everyone around us.
Give me some sugar, bro.
So we are from a town about, yeah, thank you. We're from a town about the size of this auditorium, just in West Tennessee. And we could have never imagined that so many people would engage with the things we're making, or that Coca-Cola would make that video for the Super Bowl that you just saw, or that he and I just having fun as a family, that it would connect with so many people. And yet it's led us on an adventure where I'm going from being behind a camera to suddenly having to share our heart and soul. And tonight, I'm only here because I want to share something very important to me. And it's this number. There's nearly 3 billion people in the world under the age of 20. And you guys, some people look at this number and they say, oh no, there's more of them. But you guys see that number and you say, yes, there's hope, there's potential, there's a future that is bright and bold and good and a little weird, but we need them. And you guys, a few years ago, I was in that number. And I looked at big things I wanted to do. And I was inspired by the people around me who loved me and helped lead the way. I don't know what it is the mountain is for you, but for so many of you, the thing that you're wanting to do is so big and so grand, and the world has only seen a glimpse of the goodness and healing that this room is going to bring. Do you realize that at some point, this is really cool, at some point, there's going to be someone who's having a bad day, and you're the person that they're going to want to see the most. And this room is full of people who are going to be exactly the person that somebody needs in their life at exactly that time. And our entire world's existence is going to be better and brighter because of this room. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but like that kind of thing of this is gonna be big is scary to me. Like I mean, I get frightened a whole lot about even just leaving my house. But awesome is always greater than fear. And whatever it is you're afraid of, that you're like, I don't know if I should go to med school, I don't know if I should do this, like, I don't know, it is worth it. And today, that's what I want to share with you. This was me mowing the lawn, and it was a fake lawnmower. But it wasn't too long ago, I was one of that giant number of people under the age of 20. And I spent a lot of my time in my room making videos. Making videos in my room, talking to a camera, writing songs about cats and girls who wouldn't call me back. And thank goodness YouTube didn't exist yet, because there would be an entire library of really, really embarrassing footage. But it was filmmaking and storytelling that helped me find my voice and realize my purpose. I grew up going to a summer camp, and I loved the summer camp so much because it was full of people who were right there at the exact time when I needed them most. And my life completely changed just by their presence. And we have a sign in our workshop that says, "Be who you needed when you were younger." And so for me, I think back to the people who showed up for me when I needed emotional support and healing at this camp. This is something I made for my mom because I was a terrible artist, and she still has it on the refrigerator. But that's not the greatest memento from camp. It's this girl here. You see that? Yeah. She's very pretty and smells good and uses big words. That's her. And when I saw her at camp, that's me. Yeah. When I saw her, I said, I like. And this girl, I'm actually not looking at her in the picture, I'm looking at a Beanie Baby. But it's a really cool Beanie Baby, probably worth a lot. And we started dating. We became counselors at the camp because we wanted to say, be who you needed when you were younger. And then, 13 years ago yesterday, we got married at that camp. Yeah. 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 Here we are. I know, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But there we were. And now we are the directors of the summer camp. And that's what we do. And it's because we said, okay, who was it that was there for us when we needed them? That's what I want to do. Be who you needed when you were younger. And I was spending all this time around kids because I want to be a better grown-up. And so one of the things I'm learning is that that has a whole lot to do with being more like a child. In a world that's super childish, we need to be more childlike. And I'm learning a whole lot from kids. I spent an entire year, several years working with kids who wanted to change the world. So we were at this camp, and there were these kids there. A couple of these young boys had built wells in Africa. There was another girl who had started a beauty pageant for men and women with special needs. There's so many kids who had done these incredible things. A group of junior high girls had started a soup kitchen. And then I got home, and I saw the news. I got on Facebook and saw people yelling, sharing things in all caps, and having opinions about opinions. And I just thought, why couldn't we listen to kids more? So we made a little video in which my brother-in-law was dressed as a president, and we put him in his Easter suit. We got an old record player, and then I just had him say, like, what would it be like if you were president? And he's like, I'd dance, and he started dancing. I was like, that's great. And then he even said things like, hey, get off your Facebook, be nice to people, I'm out. And we put it online, and people began to share them. And we saw that it was connecting with people. And we saw that things were happening, and people were actually watching, and it wasn't just my mom watching them on repeat. It was people actually living a little differently because they watched the videos. And then we said, well, what if we could use this to help provide healing and hope to the world? Fred Rogers is one of my heroes, and Mr. Rogers was asked to speak to a group of physicians. It was a group of men and women who performed important eye surgeries on young children. And they had found that performing these surgeries were frightening and scary and everything that these children did not want. And these doctors were having issues, and they said, who do we want to go to? We're going to go to Mr. Rogers. And so they said, Mr. Rogers, we want to be better physicians. We want to help these children. What do we do? They were expecting maybe a long dissertation, expecting some memo that would be full of gigantic words or something that would help them become better doctors. And yet this is what Mr. Rogers sent them. One sentence. Remember, you were once a child too. That simple invitation to have empathy, to be reminded of what it was like when you were a kid, would be the key to unlocking everything about becoming better at serving these children. And so what I've been trying to do is provide a reminder to people in the world of what it was like to be a child. Because a child, when we are more childlike, the world is full of more joy, wonder, wisdom, and whimsy. And that's what I want. So we made a little set, and I made a little video. And the next thing we know, we were having fun. And we start to share these, and crazy things happen, including this one video we made that was called a pep talk. And I write pep talks because I need pep talks. And I was feeling a little blue. And we'd had a bunch of people connect with our videos, but I wanted to be done. And then we put this message of encouragement out into the world, and millions of people watched. Within a matter of days, we had over 2 million views. We had ended up on Today's Show, CNN. It was all over the news. We got an invitation to meet the president, as you do. And then there we were, and I discovered one of the most important lessons I think I'll ever learn in this life. That there are lots of things in this world that are contagious. As people in healthcare, you know that. Joy, hope, and love are the best kind of contagious. We live in a climate that wants to prove to us that fear and hate and anger are contagious, and they really are, but they do not provide solutions. But we have an opportunity to be awesome. And this is a little guide, a little reminder on how to be awesome. Not that you need any help. Here we go. Okay, so one of the first things that I've been learning is, yeah, you do not need help. I'm not going to show that. Okay. So awesome is greater than fear, and you're learning that. But one of the things we've learned is that awesome is contagious, because joy is contagious. I'm going to show you a clip in just a second, and this is a moment. We got invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and we're there, and I'm wearing a bow tie, and you guys are my friends now, almost 10,000 of you, so I can tell you this. I was feeling pretty cool. I felt like I was a somebody. I did this thing where I made a mistake and I kind of grew up a little bit, and I was like, hey, I'm awesome. I'm in a room full of correspondents, or whoever's there. And there we are, and we're in this room with super fancy people I'd seen on the news, people I'd read about, and what happens? I fall down. Like, fall down so bad that I fall right on my face. And so bad, I heard somebody say, "Is that woman okay?" And I fell down, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I popped back up really fast to be like, "Okay, good, nobody saw." But my partner in crime was 9 years old, so his immediate response was to help me out by pointing and laughing. Really hard, not just like schoolyard bully laughing, and then telling the story like, you just fell down and you hit your face and that guy's called you a lady. Just laughing and laughing and laughing. And he's laughing so hard he can't contain himself, and it's like he's gonna throw up. So he's laughing so hard, and then people start to gather. because he's laughing so hard. And it was taking so long, I pulled out my phone and even got video footage of him laughing. This is it. Why are you not funny? Yeah. He's laughing so hard that a crowd gathers and they start laughing at him laughing, and people are then laughing at those people laughing. Jeff Goldblum is there, like he was in Jurassic Park, and he's laughing. And he starts talking about how, hey, I remember when I fell down one time. Barbara Walters, the Barbara Walters comes up and is like, oh, I fell down there one time, and starts talking about that. And then the only thing that stopped was she began to talk about how when she fell, her dress came up and Robbie got grossed out. And so he was like, all right, I'm done. But joy is contagious. And all these people began to talk about how they fell down one time too. And I've been learning that joy is good for your health. I am a student of children. And I'm a student of joy. I'm an amateur at this, but I'm learning, trying to remember, because he doesn't have to remember. As a child, like we're always having fun. And I would spend a lot of time writing and focusing on a script and like, we got to get this right. This has to be perfect. And then he just shows up and has fun. And I always have these moments where I'll ask questions in a video. I'll ask him a question because I'll have things I definitely want to say, but then I'll want to learn from him. So early on, a lot of people wanted to know, what political party are you in, kid president? And I was like, well, I'll ask him. So I was like, well, there's Republican and Democrat, and there's Independents, and there's the Whig Party was an old thing. I don't know. And I started talking to him about all these things, and he goes, I'm not in a party, I am a party. And it was like, okay, that's better. That's better. So I got in this habit where I would film things I needed, but then I'd ask questions. And we did a video where I asked him, we were talking about moms. And this is a clip from me asking him to just sing a song about moms. And it got deleted from the video, but I'll show it to you tonight.
In my belly, they taste so cheesy.
Look right here. Sing a song about moms.
Moms, keep doing what you're doing. Moms, keep shaking your booty. Moms, you're so good workers. You just got to shake that tail that your other mama gave you. Yeah, shake your tails. Yeah, keep working what you're doing. Keep what you're doing. Do what you're doing. Clean up my house, I clean up my poop. Yeah, clean up.
Okay, no more. And so, one of the things I've learned from creating videos is that there's things I have to delete. And it might be fun and we're enjoying it, but it doesn't add to the story I want to tell. And so would people have shared that? Maybe. Did it add to the message or the story we wanted to tell? No. So I hit delete. And in our own lives, there's things that we just have to delete that don't add to our health. There's things we have to delete that aren't making things more awesome for us or the people around us. And I'm learning to delete. In fact, I've been deleting a lot of stuff lately, so much so that we have not been traveling. This is one of only a few speaking things I'm even doing because I said I want to just be with my kids and I want to help other kids. And I showed up tonight because there's a bunch of people here who I know are going to go help a bunch of kids. So I said, okay, I'll go. So I'm not deleting this. So yes. So I've also been learning that our words we say have a lot of power. And awesome words make life more awesome. The average person says about 16,000 words a day. Some people say a whole lot more. A lot more. But you can choose to use these words to say something mean or say something meaningful. And with Kid President, I began saying things that I thought were meaningful. And this is something my grandmother taught me, to treat everybody like it's their birthday. And it's her way of teaching me the golden rule. And we put it in a video, and then suddenly I realized, oh no, we have to live this out. Because sometimes people would say things that were not awesome to us, like this guy on Twitter who said, so kid president kind of sucks, right? Ouch. So I said, everybody has good days and bad days. We're all just trying the best we can. We love you, Tim. And then he responded, I don't know who you found out who I am or why you're assuming I'm having a bad day, but you can mind your own business. So I responded, hug. And then he responded, I think people are better off finding more genuine sources of positivity. It went on, and I responded, we love your profile picture, Tim. Have a great day. And then he's like, stop it. And his friends began responding, going, we're so sorry. Tim's not normally like this. And we're like, we know. We believe in Tim. And then Tim started responding like, there's no way this is actually you guys. Like, I can't believe you would do this. And then so I got Robbie, and we took a picture, and we sent it to him. But we love you, Tim. It's us holding corn dogs. And Tim responded immediately, okay, you win. I'm sorry. I was having a bad day. And then he followed us. Yeah. And every now and then I'll just tweet to him like, hey Tim, hope you're having a good day. He's like, I am, please leave me alone. But haters gonna hate, huggers gonna hug. Yeah, you just have to. Choose to hug the haters. Some of you are gonna be around people on some of the worst days of their lives. You're gonna have to hug them. Hug them a lot. We've even found ourselves making silly videos is what I talk about what I do. But then we get messages and people post on our page all the time about how they're like celebrating 2 years of not taking their own life. And we get to be a part of that journey. So treat everybody like it's their birthday, even when they don't deserve it. Because I'm in this room because somebody told me my story was important. I mentioned like be who you needed when you were younger. When I was a kid, I had a 4th grade teacher, and I also had great legs. And my teacher, I was the kid who would finish the test early just so I could doodle on it. And I would draw pictures and do stuff. And instead of my teacher, instead of being like, why did you do that? You didn't do the assignment and your legs, put some pants on. Instead of that, she encouraged it, and she said, hey, great job. And you know what? Your drawings are so good, and your stories are so creative. I want to help you package it up, and we're going to send them to Walt Disney. Yeah. And I said, Walt Disney's dead. And she said, well, no, he's still got people. And we packaged up a bunch of things. Bunch of my stories and drawings, and we sent them to the Walt Disney Company. And it was a couple months later, like so much so we had forgotten, I went to the mailbox and there was an envelope addressed to me, Brad Montague, with a return address from Walt Disney Feature Animation. And inside was a letter, and it said, Dear Mr. Montague, me, thank you so much for your package. We received it. We regret to inform you, but due to legal reasons, we cannot accept submissions from outside sources. Yeah. And I was so excited. I was like, Mom, I'm going to be famous. Like, this is amazing. It was basically a really nice breakup letter. But in the bottom corner was a P.S. It said, P.S., thank you for making our day. Keep sharing your voice. What? What? That's the exact message my 4th grade teacher wanted me to know, that my voice mattered, that my voice had power to do things that I never imagined. And this, I don't know, it was probably an intern, I don't know, but they put that, and I took it to heart. And so when I got to meet Grover from Sesame Street and cried like a baby, I messaged my 4th grade teacher. And I told her, this is all your fault. All of this. So I'm a serial killer, and one of I'm kidding. I've been doing a project in which I have all these maps in my workshop, and one of the things we've been doing is we've been going through and having a listening tour. And instead of talking at kids and telling them stuff, I've been pausing and asking them questions and just listening. So I've been doing the Skype tour in which I connect with 4th, 5th, and 6th grade classrooms, and I hear, what is it that you want most in the world? What is your dream? How can kids and grown-ups work together? And in doing so, I wanted them to know their voice matters, but more than that, I've been learning exactly what the next generation cares about. And it is creativity and compassion, the likes of which the world has not seen yet. And so I want you to know you are powerful. Your voice, yes, you are powerful. And your life is a party. And you can live your life, some of you got noisemakers to prove it. Your life is a party, and you can invite people to it. I've been learning to invite everybody to the party. Online, we began to see that people would watch our videos, and then I wanted them not to just watch a video, but then do something. So it was about their life being lived a little differently because they spent time with us. So we began to say, hey, could you join us for an online dance party? And people did it. It was super contagious. And then we said, hey, what else is contagious? Laughing, of course. So we asked people online to send us videos of them laughing so we could create a contagious laugh video. And they did it. It was the best. And then we were like, hey, what if we did this? When I was in college, I shared a mailbox with somebody, which I think is illegal. I don't know. But my box mate had not received any mail, so I put a corn dog in her mailbox and said, sorry you haven't gotten any mail, here's a corn dog. So she started then mailing me tacos. And then other people began picking up corn dogs from the cafeteria and mailing them to people, so much so the university had to make a rule, you cannot mail corn dogs. And so I had told Robbie this story, we're filming a video, and he just says, hey, mail your friend a corn dog. And people did it. And people continue to do it. And it's turned into this corn dog revolution where people give corn dogs to people on a bad day. Teachers give corn dogs to classrooms when they do their homework. People give them to people on the street. I mean, that kid's really going for it right there. And this was an unintentional, revolution that started. We still get frozen corn dogs mailed to us all the time, and it is absolutely disgusting. Please stop. So this unintentional revolution started, and then so I began to say, okay, what we're doing is actually affecting people. What if we could actually affect people for the better? So we found out that there were men and women in our community who were homeless. And in the United States, there are several men and women and children who live on the streets. And as shelters get ready for the winter, there's so many things, basic human needs people need. And one of the most needed, least donated items are socks. So we declared the month of October Socktober. And we asked people to just engage with the homeless in their neighborhood. And they did it.
Socks, socks, socks.
So first graders at Van Horn Elementary School are collecting socks during the month of October, which has now been dubbed Socktober. The kids got the idea from a popular video series called Kid President.
This is crazy! We're collecting socks to help the homeless.
Over that year, we've done it over the past 3 years. It's a 5-year program that 5 years that we've celebrated Socktober. And just this past year and the year before, there was a Socktober drive happening in every single state. And then this year, we hit every single continent. There was a Socktober drive happening. Amazing. Amazing. I was on an airplane and sitting by a guy, and I start talking to him, and I say, hey, he goes like, so what do you do? And I said, oh, I make silly videos on the internet. It's about kids and grown-ups working together to change the world. And he's like, oh, I like that. That's neat. I have 2 young daughters. And he starts telling me about his daughters, and he's like, yeah, and we recently did a project where we collected socks. We took them to the shelter, and they called it Socktober. And I sat there going like, what? That was my idea. And instead, I couldn't even make the words good. So I just said, that's really cool. Like, so awkward. And it was a huge gift because it was a reminder that I want you to know right now, is that sometimes you're gonna do things in your life that are gonna have such an impact, and you'll only get a little glimpse of it. And people may not even realize it was you, and they don't even have to know. All that matters is that it happens. And that has been incredible. So, invite everybody to the party. You guys are people who are throwing a great party, a party in which the world is brighter and better. There's less pain. There's people who are loved. And so you're probably like, well, I don't have a lot. And we didn't either. And we wanted to do a video with Beyonce. And so all we had was, we couldn't just send an email, right? So we made a video, and it was acting out what it would be like to do a video with Beyonce, and we did it with dinosaur chicken nuggets, and this is what it looked like.
Oh, hi,
Oh, sorry.
I'm Beyonce. Hi, I'm Kid President. It's so cool we're in a video together. I know, I've been waiting for you to ask me, Kid President. It's ways to make the world better.
And then it's several minutes of the 2 dinosaur chicken nuggets kissing. Just acting it out. So I go to Beyonce.com, I email the video, and we get a response going, this sounds fun. And I was like, what? That worked? And it totally worked, and this happened. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this happened. Yeah, this fist bump here. And we could not believe it. But then this happened. The United Nations reached out to us, the world, and they said, hey, we've been trying to get a hold of Beyonce. Do you have her, number or something? And I was like, no, but get some chicken nuggets and go to Beyonce.com. And that's the power of chicken nuggets. But this is a picture that I have blown up in my house, gigantic, because it's Beyonce laughing at me, finding me hilarious and charming. And one of the things that happened, and it happened with Beyonce, we've had the huge honor of working with lots of different personalities, people with awards, and they've been on covers of magazines, and they've been celebrated, and they're recognizable. We finish filming with Beyonce. I'm behind camera, and she looks at me, and I've got the camera. She looks at me, and she goes, was that okay? I can do it again. Am I okay? And I'm sitting there going, you're Beyonce. You're okay. You're asking me? Yeah, you're okay. You're Beyonce. And it happened with the president. We did a video with the president, and we're in the Oval Office, and I finish, and he's like, was that okay? I can do it again. And I'm like, are you okay? You're the president. Don't look at me, I don't know. Like, yeah. Over and over and over, all of these people, regardless of what their position or achievement, they look at me and they go, am I okay? Over and over and over, people are going to look at you. They may not say it with their words, but they'll say it with their eyes. And they're going to be asking, am I okay? And you get to calmly look at them and say some of the greatest words in the world. Yes, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're Beyonce. One of my friends works in hospice care. She sees people over and over at the end of their lives. And she said something interesting that over and over and over, the last words that people hear on this earth from the people who love them most, they gather in, and the last words these people hear are, I love you. When my children were born, I held them, and I cried, and I looked at them, and I said, I love you. My friend Glennon has reminded me of this, that if the first words we hear and the last words we hear on this earth are, I love you, we sure spend a whole lot of time in the middle forgetting it and forgetting to say it. So you guys, regardless of what area of healthcare you're going into, regardless of if you just like stumbled into this room and you work for the hotel or you're running sound, I hope you know this, that your job is simply to show up and say, you're okay and I love you. And we get to remind people over and over of that simple fact. So show up and say that. And we need you at full health. If the world is going to be healed, if people are going to be made better and brighter, if the world is going to be as it needs to be, we need you at full health. And a lot of time people see Kid President videos and they see this happy dancing boy, and that's exactly what he is. But at the same time, he's a boy who's had a lot of struggles. And I talk to you today because our family is better because of people who cared for us, doctors and nurses, caring people who stepped in to help us. Robbie has a bone condition called osteogenesis imperfecta, sometimes referred to as OI or brittle bone condition. It's a genetic thing, and there's no cure. He will live with this his entire life. He's a normal, active, happy, dancing boy. It's just his bones break. It's not doing anything active. It's just usually just something that will occur. He's had over 70 broken bones. He's had several major surgeries. He's got rods in both of his legs. He has a sister who's a year older, has the exact same condition. And she was told she'd never walk. And they were partly right, because now she dances. And so it's pretty incredible because the doctors around us helped heal her and prepare her, and now she's a ballerina when she was told she would never walk. And now, yeah. And now Robbie is Kid President, an unlikely voice, and yet the exact voice of hope we all need. This top corner, this is me visiting him in a hospital, and I was going to be the big champ, the big like older brother who comes in with toys and cool stuff and is like, hey man, you're going to be okay. And instead I walk in and I see his little body in a hospital bed, and I almost crumble. And I look at my little friend, my little brother, who I love dearly, and I'm about to cry. And he looks at me with the only pieces of his body he can move, his pinky and his head, and he starts dancing. and I was transformed. Because if he can find a reason to dance, I can too. And never, ever do I ever wake up and say, oh, I got a headache, I can't. I just can't even. Like, it's never. Because if he can find a reason to dance, I can too, and I will. And the whole world can find a reason to dance, and I can help the world find a reason to dance. This is a joyful rebellion. That's what we say over and over and over in our family. Typically, when you hear the word rebellion, you think about anger, you think about people yelling, you think about people shooting a Death Star or throwing tea into a body of water. But a joyful rebellion is not fueled by anger, it's not fueled by hate, it's fueled by a joyful vision for how things could be. And so he is joyfully rebelling against any circumstance physically that comes his way. And I want to do the same. And everything we do is a joyful rebellion against what we look at the darkness on YouTube and we said, we're going to joyfully rebel and put joy out there. We're going to joyfully rebel every single day. And this room is not just a room of future healthcare professionals and incredible adults who love them and make that possible. This is a room of joy rebels. So instead of seeing circumstances and conditions, instead of seeing people as problems or someone that needs to be fixed, may you see the invisible. May you see the most needed thing around them. May you remember what it's like to be a child. And may you remember that today is a day you have. We have today, and we need your light. Even if it's a round blinky one on the top of your head, we need your light. And the healthcare industry does not just need another group of people who look at a textbook and say, okay, I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to get a paycheck, and I'm going to do it by the book. We need your light, what you have to bring to this. We need you. And some of the advice that I've been giving, because sometimes I feel really awkward in my own skin. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, why am I so pale and weird? Why was I made this way? How could I possibly be used for good in the world? And I show up at events and the Surgeon General's speaking and I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna say? This is a mistake. And then I need to remember the same thing I want you to remember, that we need you. Don't hide your magic. That's advice to young wizards that also works for you. But most of all, to my friends, we're friends now, right? I ask of you this. In a world that's childish, I want you to be childlike. I want your eyes to be full of wonder. I want you to fill the world with wisdom and whimsy. And in doing so, I want you to not just show up. I want you to show up. I want you to show up and show people what love looks like, because it's everybody's duty to give the world a reason to dance. I love you, HOSA. Thank you.